Well, ladies and gentlemen, I bid you a very warm welcome here this afternoon. My name...
I am sorry, but I've got a problem.
Yes, madam.
You may not be aware of the negotiations is that I'm very interested in the property.
Yes.
And I've just had a phone call from my husband, which is going to be delayed for 20 minutes. I just wondered if there was any way we possibly move on to the auction.
And is he uncontactable at all, madam?
Yes.
Unfortunately, I won't be able to delay the auction. I must give the right. The other bidders are here and ready to bid here today. There will be about 10 minutes of preliminary reading of the contract for sale. So hopefully if your husband can arrive, and certainly if you'd like to bid on his behalf at the conclusion of the auction, there'll be certainly no problem in adding his name on the contract. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I bid you all a very warm welcome here this afternoon. My name is John McGrath, and I'm indeed privileged, and it's my pleasure today to submit to you this magnificent home that we offer you here this afternoon, known as Bella Vista. It is both a privilege and a pleasure to have been marketing the property over the last 4 or 5 weeks and to submit it here for your competition here this afternoon. I believe that this is one of the most significant and important sales that we have had here in the island state of Tasmania. Not only in the past, but probably well into the future. Very few properties offer what we have to offer here this afternoon in Grange Avenue in the home we call Bella Vista. Ladies and gentlemen, the property is for sale for very definite and genuine reasons. Unfortunately, you would have probably read recently of the passing of the late Rodney Henry, and Mrs. Henry now having purchased a home on the mainland, her children having moved out several years ago now, and the home is now very much surplus to her needs. So we regret the circumstances that we've been instructed, but I guess it does offer an outstanding opportunity here for someone today to purchase this quite magnificent home. The reserve figure, which was just handed to me a few moments before I came out here to sell the property, I think reconfirms very clearly the instruction and the intention of Mrs. Henry to sell the home here this afternoon. The interest, ladies and gentlemen, over the past 4 or 5 weeks, I must say, has been absolutely staggering. We've been excited to receive phone calls from, obviously, not only right around Tasmania, but, of course, on the mainland. All the major capital cities, I've received good inquiry and phone call over the past 4 or 5 weeks on the property Bella Vista. I mean, after all, how rarely is a property of this size and quality, and in a suburb such as this, offered to the marketplace? The procedure here this afternoon, buyers, will be very, very straightforward. I'm certainly here to help you buy the home this afternoon. And I'll do everything I can to make it as easy as I can for the purchaser here today. What I'll be doing is just reading through the bidding clause in a few moments. That's clause 21 of the auction contract. I'll then just précis the front page of the auction contract. That has the more important features. I will say to you that the document is consistent with that document that we have handed out to a number of you here, or indeed to your representatives during the marketing of the property. So for that reason, I won't go to any great detail running through the annexures, warranties and other terms and conditions of the agreement for sale. Once I've done that, I'll just run through a few salient points regarding the property. We will conduct the auction. At the conclusion of the auction, we will walk inside the home with the new owner of the property, and we'll complete the agreement for sale of land in there, and the payment of the deposit will finalise the transaction. Ladies and gentlemen, the bidding clause states that subject to the reserve price, the highest bidder will be the purchaser of the property. If at any point during the course of the bidding in the auction there's a disputed bid or offer, then the auctioneer has one of two options. Either to determine the dispute, at which point his decision will be final regarding the dispute, or in fact resubmit the property at a figure which was previously undisputed. I will expect that all bidders here today are principal purchasers, meaning you've come to bid on your own behalf. Unless, of course, you do hand to me a copy of a written representation indicating that you are here bidding on behalf of someone who was unable to attend the auction. So we're very happy for you to bid on behalf of a client, a relative or friend. But please hand me a copy of a written representation prior to making that bid or offer. The auctioneer also has the right to refuse to accept any bid or offer which, in his opinion, is not in the best interest of the vendor. We will be completing the agreement for sale with the purchaser immediately following the auction. The payment of the deposit will then conclude the transaction. Ladies and gentlemen, the front page of the contract, the document has been provided and prepared by the vendor's solicitors. That's Baker McKenzie of Hobart. We'd certainly like to thank them as auctioneers for providing such a detailed and easy document to bid on here today. McGrath Partners estate agents are the proud auctioneers of Bella Vista here this afternoon, and the property is more commonly referred to as number 20 Grange Avenue in the suburb of Taroona. It's more particularly described within the contract for sale as being the two lots of land situate on volume 2896 folio 64 and volume 2896 folio 65 being the smaller allotment of the pair that we offer in line today. Other than that, buyers, you buy the home as you've inspected it throughout the last 4 or 5 weeks. We do include the fixed floor coverings as chattels, the curtains and blinds. There are light fittings included. We do make specific inclusion of the 2 chandeliers in the main reception areas, the lounge and dining areas. They will be going with Mrs. Henry over to the mainland, and she'll be replacing those with a suitable light replacement. Other than that, the payment of the 10%, we're very happy to accept from you, either cash or banker's cheque obviously, but we're equally as happy to take from you today a personal cheque for the payment of the 10%. The residue of purchase monies are due on the completion date or at any time between exchange and completion as mutually agreed, and that date being some 60 days from today's auction date. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the auction contract as it stands before me. The document, in my opinion, a fair and easy one to bid on. However, if you have any brief questions, I'd be happy to answer those for you here this afternoon. I want to make sure that everybody here is comfortable with the terms and conditions under which we offer you, and you can bid with confidence here today. Are there any questions, ladies and gentlemen, prior to the auction? That's quite correct, sir. The 2 allotments, certainly the smaller allotment, does not have its own right-of-way at this stage. However, as we are selling common title here this afternoon, you will be the owner of both lots. All you'd need to do would be burden the title of the larger allotment with a right of carriageway. There's already a right of carriageway. Just burden it with a little bit further extension of that right of carriageway into the separate allotment, and there'd be no problem with you then selling off that separate allotment. Certainly, sir, since you'll be the owner of both allotments, you'll have that. You won't have a problem doing that. You'll be burdening your own title. Does that answer your question? Thank you. Are there any other questions, ladies and gentlemen, prior to the bidding? Well, ladies and gentlemen, as the Henry family has resided here for some 22 years, it would be most unfair to Mrs. Henry and the children, and indeed remiss of me as the auctioneer today, not just to run through what I believe are some of the more important features of this quite magnificent home behind me known as Bella Vista. And I won't keep you all afternoon, although I could quite clearly today with the number of features on offer. But the first thing I'd like to remind you of today is where we stand. Bella Vista in the Grange at Taroona. When you ask someone what are the quality suburbs to be purchasing in Tasmania, no doubt Sandy Bay and Taroona would be the first 2 suburbs mentioned. And here, in the most exclusive northern Grange facility here at Taroona, we offer you, I believe, a position which is unsurpassed. Taroona, so popular because it's got quick access to the city. 8 or 9 minutes by vehicle, up beside the river, you'll find yourself in the central business district of Hobart. And yet here at Taroona, we're all self-contained. The facilities are here. The Taroona Village shopping facility, I'm sure you're aware of that, and the marvellous shopping that's available there. The facilities of the beach, just down the laneway, of course, just off Grange Avenue, you can find yourself in a few minutes stroll down on the beach, just moments away from the title that we offer you here today. As well as that, the many lifestyle features, of course, at Taroona Hotel, sitting nicely on the water there, I'm sure will become a popular feature of your Sunday recreation down there, the marvellous seafood lunches that are available. Indeed, this is one of the more established and prestige addresses in the island state of Tasmania at Taroona. Not only is the suburb superb, and not only are we well positioned within the suburb, but I think the allotment and the opportunity here today, buyers, is quite outstanding. Down at the foot of the cul-de-sac that you came in to arrive today at the auction at the end of Grange Avenue, the marvellous gates bring us into number 20, Bella Vista. The property built some 30 years ago by Mr. John Gray. And I could imagine the conversation Mr. Gray may have had with Hope Jacobs, the architects that originally constructed this marvellous low-slung style home. And Mr. Gray may have said to Hope and Jacobs, I have secured perhaps the most perfect site in all of Tasmania to build my new home. And he perhaps would have said to them, I am an entertainer, but I'm also looking for a family home. So could you construct and build for me a home which will provide me outstanding facility for entertainment, but also outstanding facility for my family to live within? And buyers, I think you'd agree with me that Hope Jacobs had done a very fine job in adhering to that brief. Because here at Bella Vista behind me, we have just that. On some 3¼ acres of undulating lawns, privately positioned at the end of Grange Avenue, we have one of the most significant properties in Tasmania for sale this afternoon. And perhaps Mr. Gray said to Hope Jacobs, position the property in the most prime position on all of my 3¼ acres so I can take advantage of the wonderful views of the Derwent River, so I can see the wonderful flotilla of yachts that will float past me here, week in and week out. And I think Hope Jacobs selected the prime position, and that's just behind us here on the highest point of number 20 Grange Avenue. The property itself is very well constructed. And there's no argument from me that it's probably ready fairly shortly for some additional decoration. But isn't it nice to be able to stamp your own personality on a home such as this when you have a view and land such as we have here this afternoon? The floor plan, I think, is outstanding. As you come into that very formal entrance vestibule to greet your guests, of course, at one end of the home you have those four large, good-sized bedrooms. And in fact, I'd say the master bedroom was an oversized room with that walk-in robe facility, the ensuite fully self-contained there, and of course the nice facility of having direct access onto that lovely north-facing sun patio that we have there coming off the property. As I said, 4 good-sized bedrooms, and indeed the Henry family's had 4 children that have gone right through the ages here and gone through their teen years and enjoyed this home immensely. At the other end of the property, though, I think that they've combined a very, very lovely mix of formal and informal living zones. Of course, as you leave that entrance vestibule, just to the left, remind yourselves of those lovely formal reception rooms. We have that very, very nice double-sized living area there with the open fireplace, and I'm sure, buyers, you've mentally placed yourself already prior to today around that lovely fire crackling in the winter months down here at Tasmania. Having come from your formal dining area, which is immediately adjacent to there, seats, I think, some 12 or 14 people for dinner. So it's certainly a spacious dining area there. And immediately adjacent to that, of course, is that lovely, what I would refer to as a country-style kitchen, very large and very open style of kitchen area with its very nice, immediately adjacent breakfast nook there to you. And of course, the entire house, every main room in the home, remind yourselves of this, buyers, every main room of that home has been designed to take advantage of that wonderful vista of the Derwent River, looking across your own lands, those undulating lawns that we have for you there, across your formal court garden there, across your sandstone walls, across to the Derwent River there, through the lovely elms and willows which are down on your northern boundary, and that marvellous big gum that's behind you. Quite an outstanding opportunity, and buyers, you'd probably be aware from discussions that I've had with you, or you may have done your own research, that there was an extension that took place with the property at the northern end of the home. And perhaps the second buyer felt that there was not enough family area there. Perhaps they felt that times had changed and they wanted a little bit more casual living space, and perhaps they didn't need as much the formal living area, and they created that wonderful family room on the northern tip of the property with that marvellous large square picture window, and again, wonderful fireplace there. Due northerly aspect, views across the Derwent and views down to the reservation boundary that we have across through those willows. Ladies and gentlemen, the features here, I could go on and on here this afternoon, but I know that there's a number of very anxious buyers here today and a number of other interested onlookers that are here to bear witness to this very significant sale on this auspicious day. I, as the auctioneer, have but, I guess, one regret here this afternoon. And that regret, buyers, is that there is only one Bella Vista. If someone were able to create 4 or 5 or 6 Bella Vistas with the 3 1/4 acres and the features and the views and all of the other features that we have here today for you, I could place them in a matter of days and probably place them to all the other underbidders here today. But ladies and gentlemen, quite clearly that is not the case. There is one Bella Vista and it can be home to only one buyer here today. And just moments before I came out here to present you this property, when I received the auction reserve from Mrs. Henry, I suggested to her that perhaps this was a very sad occasion, being the passing not only recently of her husband but now their family home, and yet she assured me that the late Mr. Henry would have wanted only one thing from this auction sale today: that the new owner and their family would have as many enjoying moments and times and years as the Henry family has enjoyed here over the past 22 years. And yes, Mrs. Henry is going off to the mainland, and she leaves the home, and she leaves the home for someone else to perhaps have another 20-odd years of enjoyment here today. I suggest to you buyers also, Bella Vista will sell for a little bit more than you anticipated having to pay for the home when you arrived at the auction sale. Buyers, please don't be put off by that, because quite clearly what we have here today, in the true sense of the word, is a rare opportunity. Buyers, there's no more need for any sleepless nights or anxious moments. The opportunity to buy Bella Vista has arrived. All I need now is an opening bid or an offer to start the auction, and we'll be away, and in a few moments one of you lucky buyers will have secured one of the most magnificent family homes available to you in all of this country. Ladies and gentlemen, would someone be kind enough to start my bidding here today? As I said, I'm here to help you buy the home. It is a magnificent estate, 3 1/4 acres in the prestige suburb of Tasmania, with all of the features that I've mentioned. A bid or an offer, buyers. Where would you like to start the offering? A bid or an offer? We're here to sell today, certainly not testing the market. We are here for definite sale. A bid or an offer to start? You tell me. Bid or an offer? Call out a figure. Here to accommodate. In your hands, buyers, looking for a bid or an offer. Where would you like the bidding? 6 to start? Is there 6 to start? Can I suggest a figure? $600,000 an opening bid to start, can I say? And 6 I have. Thank you, sir, at $600,000. Opening bid at $600,000, and I'll take a $50,000 increment at 6 at $600,000. Looking for 6.5 at 6 on bid, and I'll take $650,000, and I can see you all make it 6.5 at $600,000 on bid. Look, and 50 now at $650,000 against you, sir. 7 if you would. At $650,000, I'm fairly bid. At $650,000 and 7 I have. 3 of you in it at $700,000. It's against you, sir. It's against the opening bidder at $700,000. I'm looking for $750 if I can. If I say $750,000 and I'm bid $700. At $700,000, sir, and it's your bid, looking for $750. At $700,000 I'm offered. I'm looking for $750,000 now. At $700,000 I'm bid. Are you all done? And finished at $700,000, and I'll take the 50 or 25 if it's any easier for you today, buyers. At $700,000, fairly bid. Look, and 25. At $725,000, and it's on the right with the opening bidder. You're both out on the left-hand side and centre at $725,000. At $725,000 at Bella Vista. At $725,000, can I say 7.5 before we go? At $725,000, any further bid or offer? Are you done and finished at $725,000 before I go? Surely $750 or more, it's worth more than that at $725,000. At $725,000 now. First call at $725,000, and you're both out, gentlemen, at $725,000, and I'll make it $750 before I go. Bear with me, sir, it's your bid. At $725,000, and I'll take the 50, and 50 I have. At $750's bid. At $750,000, and you're both out now. At 7.5, looking for $775, sir. Can we say that? 6, I'll accept. $760, it's with you. At $760, and you're both out here, and you're out on the right-hand side. At $760,000 bid. At $760, I'm off, and 70. At $770's in 10s as well, sir. At 80, if you like, at $770, I'm bid. At $770,000 against you primarily, make it $780. At $780's your bid. At $780,000 I have, and it's here. And call out if I miss you on the right, so the bidding is centre and left at $780,000. At $780, and I'll take the 10 to go on with. At $780,000, take your 5, sir. $790, can I say? $785's against you, and 90. At $790, sir, 5 again. at $790,000 and 795, round me to 8. 795 and you're out here also at $795,000, fairly bid and offered at 795, sir. Take 800, come back to you in a minute. 795's a bid and it's here. 8 on bid, 8's the offer here. 5, sir, can I say? At 8 you're out. 8, I'll take the 5, can I say that? 800 is here. Can I say 5 for you, sir? At $800,000 on bid and 5. At 805 and I've got 4 of you in it. At 805 and 10 I'll take. At $805,000, take your 2.5, gentlemen, if you like, 7.5, 8, 7.5, make it 8, 10 if you like, or in the centre, at $807.5 and 10. At $810,000 and he likes the property at 810. 12.5 I'll say, sir. At $810,000 on bid and 12.5 and it's with you. It's left against right. At $812,500, haven't forgotten the centre either. 812.5 on bid and offered. At $812.5, can I say 15, sir? It's against you now, quite clearly. Are you all done at 812.5 and I'll let you back in at 815 before I go, or the centre. At $812,500, fairly bid. First call at $812,500 and I'm bid 15 I've got now, so it took his time though. At 815, round me to 17.5, 16. $816,000, sir, on bid. At 816, it's against here and it's against you also, sir. At 816, 17 if you like. At 806, sorry, sir, and a half. 16.5 on bid. 17? 17 is here. He likes it too at 817, sir. 500. At 817.5 now. At 817.5, another half again. Make it 818. What do you say? At $817,500, fairly bid, sir, and you're out. At 817.5 and its bidding is against you here. The bidding is on the right. What do you say, sir? Have a chat. Don't mind about that. Talk to your wife. Would you like it at 818? 87. So you've been here a number of times. Now is the day. Today is not the day, sir, to be trying to save $500. Not here at Bella Vista this afternoon at $817,500. What do you say? Another 500. Can I have one more from you? Run with me, sir, at 818. All done. First call at 817.5. How about the centre? Are we in for another 500 before we go? The bid is on the right-hand side, and you're out here, and you're out here. Take the 500. Sir, was that another bid? Are we in for 8? You sure?
McGrath, sorry, I'm going to retract my bid. It's taken far too long. I had a bid. I would like to retract it.
Sir, in the auction contract, no bid shall be retracted.
Sorry, you've talked
at 817.5, sir. All right. That's the case, sir. I'll bring it back to you at 817. At $817,000, I'm holding the bid with you, sir, and it's against my middle buyers. At $817,000, and your bid is here. At $817,000, the bid is here, and I'll take the $500 increment. At $817,000, sir, bear with me. We say 500 before I go. At $817,000, all done. First call at $817,000 bid is here. Yes, madam. Very nice to see you again. 5 is here at 817.5, so wouldn't that rot your socks? Make it 500 again. At 817.5, sir. At 818, can I say that? Just $500, sir. You've nearly owned it twice now. Make it 818 before I go. At 817.5, and it's madam's bid. Centre at $817,500. Against you still. Against you on the wing, sir. At $817,500. What do you say, sir? Just $500. Make it 818 before I go. You want the home. You've come to buy it at 817.5 now. First call. Are you all done? Sir, does it help if I inform you that the highest bidder will own this home today? As I said to you, we are here for a very definite sale today. Mrs. Henry has instructed me to sell. Can I say 818 for you? The bid is here at 817.5 and we sell today. And so it's been 22 years coming, Bella Vista. Can I say 818 before I go? Are you sure? Are you finished? Bear with me, madam. It's your bid at 817.5 before I go. Buyers, second call at $817,500 and the bid is here. Quite clearly bid and offered at 817.5 and we sell today. Are we all done? Another one? You sure? All finished for the third and final call and we sell the property. What a magnificent opportunity today it is at $817,500 and we're here to sell. All done. All finished before I go. One last chance, sir. You out? You sure? All done. All finished in the centre. All silent at $817,500. Sold to you, madam. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like to say a very warm congratulations to our purchaser and indeed commiserations to our 2 underbidders here today. It has been a pleasure to have been instructed and to sell Bella Vista here today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for your bidding and attendance here today and a safe journey home. Thank you.